Live from San Antonio, week one finale here. Ending out the week, Vice City Kings taking on the San Antonio Stampede. In the booth with me, the one and only Pizzo. What's up, buddy?
Hello, Mr. Nighthawk, and hello, GSB.
Yeah, we're excited for this one. Prediction, guys, up in the chat, so make sure you guys vote on that with your channel points. Chance to win some channel points in that. See the starting lineups: Tez Green, Jim Carr, Percy Cooper, Willie Davis, and Anthony Stover for San Antonio. Pizzo, what are you looking forward to in this one?
Hey, we're closing out the first week of the GSB here. We got a 4-round contest between these two heavyweight teams. You know, these heroes of the hardwood are going to do some battle here in San Antonio in the shadow of the Alamo, so I'm looking forward to getting this going.
San Antonio, historic city, as Percy Cooper gets us started with the bucket there. Pizzo, San Antonio just traded away Dominic Shalizzi, we saw in the last game, for Damian Chambers. So we'll see what adding a shooter to this rotation looks like for them.
Yeah, San Antonio had a little bit of drama in the offseason just leading up to the first week here. First on the ownership side, and then just a week before the season, let go their head coach and then trade him. So it's interesting to see how things are going to play out for them here. Will they have their game plans ready? Will they be able to work their rotation like they want to? So it'll be interesting to see how things play out for San Antonio.
For sure. Right away, down to the post to Anthony Stover. And I love the flow already for the Stampede. They're up 4-0.
Absolutely. Stover's a player to watch for me. He went late in the draft, went in the 6th round. Definitely has a chip on his shoulder for that, and rightfully so. Was definitely thought to be going sooner. So it's good to see him come out playing hard and getting a bucket early on.
Zima Blue gets Vice City on the board for the first time, sporting their teal jerseys with those black and pink, black and fuchsia accents as Stover drives in, gets fouled, and the bucket foul on Justin Banks. You talked about it already, Pizzo. Stover, one to watch, up to 4 quick points here for the Stampede.
Absolutely. He's already proving he is a man on a mission, and you can see it right there, just finishing strong. He'll take a little bumps down low, but he will finish.
Libertines wants to know if this is Gregory Pizzo in the booth. It is Pizzo in the booth, yes.
It is.
I believe this is Pizzo's first call, too.
This is my first call, yes, indeed. So thank you for having me here in the booth with you.
Oh, it won't be the last call for sure. We love having you. Anthony Stover, the 7'3" center from St. Amant, Louisiana. You're familiar with the Bayou?
I am familiar with the Bayou, and I'm very familiar with St. Amant. I've spent a little bit of time there myself, so I am familiar with his hometown.
Stover can't get it off the back of the rim. 6-2 lead here for San Antonio. Zima Blue with the ball. Backdoor cut to Hakuna Matata. Layup good. We got a couple of and ones to start this one. The foul's on Jim Carr. And Hakuna Matata going to go to the line to try to convert the and one.
That was a beautiful cut there from the backside there from Matata. And again, finishing strong. These two teams obviously not afraid to go toe-to-toe with one another here to start the game.
Matata, the 6'6" shooting guard from Seaford, Delaware. Here stepping up to try to convert the 3-point play. What's up, Tez? Tez asking how Baby Hawk is. Baby Hawk is great. She turns 3 in May. Can't believe it. So Matata at the line, sets, free throw good, and a good start for both teams. 6-5 start here, Pizzo.
Yeah, nice balanced start, a little bit of a back and forth early. You know, this is a game of momentum, so we're going to see who strikes first and who can start heating up here early on in the game.
Yeah, Matata with the steal on Carr there. And Carr going to respond with the charging foul, so Carr turns around, makes up for the mistake, and Stampede going to get it back.
Wow, yeah, like we're seeing it early on here. These two teams are not afraid to go at one another. That's a good take there from Carr.
There's Tez Green at the top. Green over to Cooper. Cooper down to Green. Green drives in. Green floater up, no good. Stover right there with the offensive board under the rim. He's going to go up, and I think might have got fouled, might have got blocked. Either way, it's Vice City ball.
Yeah, it's a no call there by the refs here, so it must have been a clean block. Looked to be close, but it's good to see them letting them play down there.
Here's Zima Blue out on the wing. Blue looking for Buckley. Instead, going to get a screen by the #1 pick, Al Pedraza. Pull-up jumper for Zima Blue, no good. Ball tipped and grabbed by Al Pedraza. Layup can't convert, and Stampede out and running. Jim Carr back of the rim, no good. Zima Blue grabs a rebound. San Antonio wants to push the pace in this one. A high point total set here in the books.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Pedraza gets involved here. Didn't do too much in the prospect games in the preseason. I know that a lot of fans there are looking to him to do a lot here, especially as the #1 overall pick.
Yeah, Banks misses the short jumper, and Buckley grabs the rebound and the dunk, and Vice City got their first lead now.
Finishing strong there. Yeah, you can see both teams are definitely working it down low. As you can see Carr working it low, not necessarily known for his driving ability. Used to seeing him from the outside. But yeah, these two teams just they're taking it to the paint.
Yeah, Carr's got to get it more of a two-way game like you saw there if he wants to be a threat, a legitimate threat from the outside. You know, a lot of guys, you can get predictable if you just settle out there.
Yeah, people aren't going to give him that space that he needs to get those open looks from long range if he can't mix it up a bit.
Percy Cooper with the steal. I think Tez Green's going to get credited with that one. He's going to get the ball in the corner. Green working against Banks. 13 on the shot clock. Backdoor to Carr. Carr gets blocked by Buckley. Gets it back. Now go back up and get it. Buckley again. 2 blocks in a row for the big man.
Yeah, Vice City's got those giants down low. It's going to be hard for Carr to do some work down there.
For sure. Banks driving. Short pull-up jumper for Justin Banks is good.
Assist from number 17.
Banks is another one we can see early on taking it to the hole pretty aggressively there as we get the timeout called by San Antonio.
Timeout San Antonio. 9-8 game right now.
Fans, please give a big round of applause.
This is a good start for both teams. Both teams shooting it pretty well. I mean, the defense has been the only reason that, the block shots have been the only reason either team's really missed.
Yeah, we've seen a few blocks, a few steals mixed in as well. The shooting overall, most of it is from the inside. We've seen a couple of outside shots, nothing really falling just yet. But, keep shooting, they'll start falling.
Smart by San Antonio as Pedraza gets fouled, or picks up the foul there. Smart job by San Antonio because their strength is from the outside. So it looks like what they're doing is setting the tone on the inside a little early to open that up later.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. We'll see how they mix that up, similar to what we saw with Carr a little while ago. Are they going to start taking things to the outside a little bit more often once they loosen some things up?
Sure, here's Tez Green. Green starting at the point guard tonight. Jim Carr comes off the pick and roll, plays it down to Stover. Stover layup good. Stover up to quick 6 points here for San Antonio.
Yep, the big man is coming up big so far, and he's setting the pace for the Stampede.
Yeah, here's Jim Carr over to Blue. Now down to Pedraza in the post. Pedraza working one-on-one out to Banks. Banks got an open 3, top of the key, and he drills it.
Nice look there by Banks. Worked his way open around the screen there. Got open at the top of the key. Drained it.
Here's Cooper. Cooper now to Tez. Green working back to Percy Cooper. The real life brother tandem. Now over to Carr. Carr's going to fire it up. 3-pointer good in the face of Matata.
And there's Jim Carr doing Jim Carr things.
Bench subs ready to check in. It looks like Shane Lloyd and Bam Bam Hayes, the pair of big men for San Antonio. And now Pedraza out on the wing. Going to try to back down Willie Davis, and then a legal screen on the outside away from the ball on Justin Banks. So it'll go back to San Antonio, and we'll get some substitutions in for the first time. Looks like almost a wholesale change for Vice City.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to. It's a bad time for that illegal screen there. Pedraza looks like he was about to do some work down low. Just maybe going to have to settle for next time.
So now it's Bryce Lee with the ball on the wing. Lee going to get a screen from Bam Bam Hayes here. Pick and roll been working well early. Lee tacks right at Buckley. Looks like Buckley wanted to go straight up. The ref might have had a bad angle on it because I think Lee went right into the chest of Buckley, caused those arms to come down, and he's going to get the foul.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely went right into him. Not afraid to take that foul there.
So 10 points in the paint for San Antonio. 10 over their 13. 11 of them have been assisted, though. So great ball movement by the Stampede early here.
Yeah, certainly moving the ball around quite a bit, trying to get those open looks and find those open lanes, and they're doing a good job of sharing that ball with one another.
For sure. Deathridge down to the post, working against Lloyd.
Home team foul.
Lloyd gonna get fouled, and Deathridge gonna go to the line.
Yeah, you can see it early on. It's the theme. We've mentioned it a couple of times already. Everybody is banging down low here, going after those big guys, and we're seeing a few fouls starting to pop up here and there. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out long term during the game.
Tyler Deathridge, a 7-foot center from Kansas City at the line. First free throw good. 14-13 game here. In case anybody's wondering what the SG is on Vice City's uniform, that's a tribute to Bobby Jackson's mother-in-law who passed away earlier this year. We'll be sporting that for the rest of the season. Here Shane Lloyd gets the rebound off Deathridge miss. Backdoor to Bryce Lee. Lee's layup is no good, and still so good, gets the rebound.
It's another one of those passes, like they're sharing that ball, trying to find the open spots to get it down low. Just couldn't finish that time.
James three-pointer, no good, back rim. It'll prove well for them later if they continue to move the ball that well. Here's Chambers. Chambers driving in. His first shot as a Stampede member, no good. Rebounded by Deathridge. All the way to the corner. Oh, good for three. Almost missed everything. Short rim. Here's Bryston at the elbow. Bryston working to his left. Backs up now. Now out to Chambers. Chambers going to set something up. Swings it over to Lloyd. Lloyd comes off the screen. Looks like they want Bryston. They got him. Michael Bryston for three from the corner. No good. And Bam Bam Hayes going to get called with the foul.
That's his first
Bam Bam
personal
just
foul.
throwing people around there down low.
Living up to his name for sure.
Substitution for the away team.
Looks like the last sub
Number
for
34.
Vice City checking in. That's correctional curator coming in for Billy Bob Buckley.
Correctional curator, one of the more interesting players in the league, coming in as a 6'7" center. You definitely don't see that very often. It'd be interesting to see how Vice City plays him as he comes and he finishes
Well, he
as
is
soon as he enters the game.
a lob threat piece. We saw it in the preseason. He had multiple alley dunks. He's going to play a lot of the power forward position for this team, but he is a lob threat. Probably one of the best in the league.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to watch him as he gets going here, and maybe that'll set the spark for Vice City and give them the momentum.
Bryston sets his feet, three-pointer, and fires, and it's good.
Beautiful look from Bryston as he worked some space for himself and got the clean look from outside.
Here's all good. On the wing. Ball up top to Deathridge. Deathridge swings it over to James. King James the second. Gonna get a screen here. They'll go to that pick and roll. James down low. Left-hand layup. Good. Nice take by James inside.
Once again, another solid finish down there.
Getting crafty inside. Chambers now over to Hayes. 17 all here in the first quarter. 2 minutes left. Looks like they want Bryston again. Bryston just hit a three. Now he's going to get a two-point jumper, and he hits it again. So Michael Bryston getting hot.
Yes, he is. He is heating up, and that might be the spark that the Stampede are looking for right here to get themselves going.
Here's Ivory, 1917 San Antonio. Ivory comes off the screen. Pull-up jumper from Ivory is no good. And Deathridge tried to go putback. I think it tipped off somebody's hands. The curator comes up with it. James going to come off the screen from Deathridge. Pull-up jumper and another illegal screen. That's the second one, I think, already on Vice City.
Yeah, Vice City getting caught twice with those illegal screens, and they're going to have to be careful. That could end up costing them the game if they keep giving up the ball this way.
Bryston over to Chambers. 1:20 left in the first quarter. Been a good first quarter so far for both teams. Been close. Lee driving. Lee loses his defender, but can't hit the layup. Deathridge gets the rebound.
Got a good clean look. Couldn't finish there.
And as we hit progression tomorrow, a reminder for everybody that opens at 10 a.m. Eastern as James hits the three and puts Vice City back on top. But we're going to see a lot of guys put some points into things that they've seen in week one that maybe they're lacking.
Yeah, and certain things are going to stand out to their players and to the head coaches as well, as they provide some advice and counsel on where to improve moving forward.
Yeah, he can't get it. Oh, Bam Bam Hayes.
Bam
Bam jams on Curator.
Coming up strong. There it is.
Wow, the running one took off 1 foot too, threw it down. Here's James for 3 again, and another
The third
illegal
one.
screen on Ivory. The Vice City Kings team needs to set their feet on these screens. They're getting called pretty quick often.
Yeah, the coach is really gonna be tearing them a new one during practice, I imagine.
We'll see. Here's Chambers. Chambers going to the ISO, still so good. Gets the steal and now has it for Vice City with 15 left on the clock. Ivory looks like Vice City probably will hold for 1 here. Ivory's going to go out top to James. James is going to go ISO on Bryce Lee. James has got the height advantage inside, gets fouled. So a great play by Vice City to find the mismatch and go right at it.
Yeah, that was a great play by King James there to get the ISO, try to drive it in. Didn't get the shot to fall, but certainly drew the foul to get those free throws.
So James at the line trying to give Vice City the lead right before the quarter. First one rattles out, no good. King James, the 6'8" small forward from Miami, the hometown guy right now. James' second free throw good, ties the game at 21. 4 seconds left, still a chance here for San Antonio. Bryson's gonna have to push forward and shoot from half court. The shot is up and wide left. It will go to the end of the first quarter. Vice City 21, San Antonio 21. We'll take a quick break. This is Gold Standard Basketball on Twitch.
The visiting team, 21.
Pizzo back here to San Antonio, and I wanted to get your thoughts. We spent some time in the city getting ready for this game. What are your thoughts about San Antonio?
Oh, I love coming down to San Antonio. It's always a good time. You know, we were able to check out the Alamo, learn a little bit about the history down there. Also hang out on the world famous Riverwalk. I love going down to the Riverwalk. You can get a nice little river tour. There's so many restaurants and places to hang out and shops. It's always a good time to be able to come down and spend a day or a few days down in San Antonio.
I'll definitely be heading down this way more to call some more of these games as Ivory starts the quarter off with a nice little jumper after going behind the back. 11 lead changes already in the first quarter. Pizzo, the biggest lead, only 4 points, so it's been tightly contested.
Yeah, this has been one hell of a matchup here. Definitely love the back and forth of it all. I mean, the difference that we've seen so far is those illegal screens from Vice City.
Carr drills a deep three. And we talked about it earlier. Carr is an absolute sniper, and he's getting the looks he wants, and he's hitting right now.
Yeah, and it looks like the game plan may be paying off for him. He was driving early on, trying to create some space from deep, and now he's starting to get some space back there. And if he gets heated up, look out.
Yeah, we'll see if they keep going to that, to the well, as James misses the jumper. Tez Green on the layup gets fouled. He'll go to the line. Tez Green, only 6'2". He's a shooting guy where he plays a lot of point guard for the San Antonio team. But he is quicker than, he's probably one of the quickest players in the GSP. And he showed it right there.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's a good one. Definitely valuable for that flexibility that he has to play multiple positions. And you can see when he shows off that speed. We definitely saw it in the prospect games. Fast breaks, nobody could catch up with him. So he was a good pick by San Antonio to bring him along. And he's definitely for some big things with leading this team.
For sure. Big Tez Green fan, always have been. Tez is a great guy, too. We'll have to get him. He needs to make his booth resurgence. He used to be a big booth guy in CSBA for us. We'll have to get him back in here to do some games.
Do some games. Need to get him involved in some interviews as well, maybe in the future.
For sure. A lot of cool stuff. It's possible. Curator, three-pointer, top of the key. Good. That's the other great thing.
Man.
He's a lob threat that can shoot the ball. What a unique player.
Man, you do not see that a lot from, again, he's listed as a center. This is not your prototypical center, and you can see that with what he's done here so far.
Carr's going to line up another three. Hits again. Jim
There
Carr's
he
3
goes.
for 3.
And here he goes. That's the Jim Carr that you expect to see, and he is starting to warm up here, and Vice City really needs to start locking him down.
Ivory's got it. And it's going to be interesting. Guys like Curator that have such a unique build, you know, prospects watching or people watching that are creating players later, maybe, you know, copycat that build because it is an advantage at times.
Absolutely. With that uniqueness as well, it's not just that build. You might see some other builds come up where people are going to be trying different things as well, and that'll be interesting to see over time.
Cooper, three-pointer corner, and San Antonio shooting lights out here at home.
Yes, and the home court advantage is certainly coming through now as Vice City calls a well-needed timeout as San Antonio is starting to pull away with all these threes.
Yeah, the crowd is really loud right now. It's Jim Carr letting them hear it. Timeout on the floor. Vice City needs to cut this biggest lead now for San Antonio. Pizzo, it's only 6, but it feels like, you know, this could be 15 right now because of how close this game's been.
Absolutely. It's been so close, and it just seems like San Antonio isn't missing right now. And, you know, Vice City needs to figure out a way to shut down the perimeter. Otherwise, this is going to start getting out of hand really fast.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Justin Hall with San Antonio here, who just took over. Nice pass to go good for the dunk.
There we go. Great look there.
I talked to Coach Hall, and, you know, they really emphasize getting their guards, their shooters involved. And they're really doing a really good job of it early.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we see some of that ball movement we were talking about earlier. And that's going to be a difference maker if they can keep that going.
Finally misses, had a wide open look. Matada going to drive and gets fouled by Percy Cooper as Matada takes a tumble.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
First foul on Percy Cooper. So Hakuna Matada will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Taking 2 shots.
I love Cooper throwing his arms in the air like, what? What did I do?
Tough and physical, this San Antonio Stampede team. What do you think about the rest? I mean, the rest of the week's been really good as well. A lot of surprises to start the week, and a lot of room for improvement on a lot of teams.
Oh, yeah, we saw a few teams that surprised us. You know, I will start at my home in Dallas, where we got our butts absolutely handed to us by Michigan. All the credit in the world to that team and the game plan that they came out. Even the last game with Memphis and Kentucky. I think that result was very unexpected from a lot of people, with Kentucky just manhandling Memphis. But the best games by far is that Oakland game with the Otters. Yeah. That overtime matchup, Stank and Jabroni just helping pull away at the end. That was an amazing game. So, and even this one, we've got a close game so far here with Vice City and San Antonio. This one looks like it's also going to be coming down to the wire.
For sure. Lloyd setting the screen for Carr. Carr drives in. Carr down low and can't get the layup to go.
Ooh.
A surprising miss there from Jim Carr. As Banks runs out, quicks to the corner. Zima Blue 3, yes sir.
Oh,
what
wow.
an extra pass there by Justin Banks.
Beautiful. Passed up a good shot for a great shot on that one. That was a good look. Get it from the outside and drained it.
Absolutely. That's an unselfish play that's going to do wonders for a team on that shot from Vice City right there. I love the extra pass. That's one of my favorite plays right there.
Yeah, and we keep mentioning the passing with all the assists, and they're starting to pile up here in the second quarter.
Absolutely. So back here, Shane Lloyd going to take it out for San Antonio out of the timeout. 46 viewers in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning into this one. Percy Cooper, ball's loose. Zima Blue has it. They look like they might have had a 3-on-1, but Blue's going to slow it down, working against Percy Cooper. Vice City has the lead after being down 6 just a minute ago. Battle back now. Pedraza coming to set the screen. Matada, jumper, no good. Shane Lloyd holds off Billy Bob Buckley for the rebound. Cooper going to go reverse on it. Can't finish. Gets his own board and fouled by Zima Blue. So heads up play there by Percy Cooper. To stay
Cooper showing off some moves down low, going in with the reverse. Didn't make it, but then came up big again with his own rebound. And getting fouled on trying to go for the putback. So good, strong play there from Percy Cooper.
For sure. 3 blocks, 3 steals for Vice City tonight. The defense been keeping them right on top here as Percy Cooper at the line.
Yeah, that timeout we saw earlier from Vice City was a difference maker. San Antonio was pulling away with those threes. They were up by 6. Vice City called that timeout, and now we're back to an even game here.
Sure, Percy Cooper, the 6'8" Nigerian at the line. Second free throw up and good as well. So San Antonio back on top now. I feel like this game is going to be completely back and forth the entire game.
Absolutely. Like we said to start, like this is a heavyweight battle. These two teams are going to go back and forth, and absolutely this one looks like it's going down to the wire.
Banks three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Lloyd. Kicked ahead quickly to Jim Carr. San Antonio running here in transition, as they're very good at. Carr down low, gets fouled, and then go to the line for 2. Out of most teams, Pizzo, I think I've loved San Antonio's transition game the most so far. The way they're running their stuff, it's just quicker than a lot of teams have been.
I agree. Like I think you hit the nail right on the nose there. We've seen a lot of teams, as they go into transition, they slow down and set up their half-court game. That's not the case in San Antonio. They get at least one person down the court, they get the ball to them in transition, and they're flying down there to the end and trying to finish strong.
Carr's first free throw is good. Stover checking in. Stover had a really good opening segment there for San Antonio. See if he can continue that. Carr is probably at 13, 14 points already as he hits the second one.
We've seen him hit, 3 threes. We've seen him hit a few layups, those foul shots. So points are adding up for Carr early on, too.
For sure. Here's Matada. Matada at the line. The 3 gives it over to Justin Banks. The long 2 for Banks, no good. Rebounded by Stover. Stover pushing to Tez Green. Tez quickly goes around the defense. We talked about his quickness. Off the glass,
that
no
speed.
Good. It's a good recovery by Banks there. This Carr's got it with 6 on the clock. Screen coming from Stover. Tough spacing there from San Antonio's. Percy Cooper was caught there. Quickly ahead to Matada. Matada one-on-one with Carr. Fouled and bucket. Hakuna Matada's got a second and one of the night.
Wow, yeah, Matada is not someone you want to leave in open space. So Carr did what he could to catch up and try to distract and hit him with the foul there. But Matada's too strong and finished now going for the end one.
Matada at the line. Free throw up and rattles out, no good. San Antonio remains in front by 1. It's Michael Bryston the third with the ball for San Antonio. He drives in. Stolen there by Pedraza. Bam Bam Hayes one-on-one with Pedraza. Kicks to the corner. 3-pointer Matada. Yes! And I love Vice City's ball movement right now. They're making the extra pass and it's paying off.
Yeah, that was absolutely a great play there to find Matada once again.
Here is Bryston. Bryston going to get a screen from Bryce Lee here. The point guard setting a screen for each other. 9 seconds left. Ball loose. Matada with another steal. Vice City defense really showing out here in the second quarter.
Third possession in a row where they are just picking the pockets of the Stampede.
Banks can't hit the 3. Pedraza with the offensive board. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Hayes.
Yeah, Pedraza, we haven't called that name very much tonight, and I spoke to him earlier. He's definitely feeling the pressure of the expectations as that #1 overall pick. He knows that the Kings know that he's going to work to refine his skills and keep improving, but it is a surprise that he has been very quiet so far.
Yep, Stover's got it with 3, with 2. What a pass up to Bryston. He can't hit. Bam Bam Hayes right there for the putback. But what a heads-up play by Stover to not panic and throw it ahead to Bryston.
What a sequence there. What a save on both sides of the court to throw it halfway down the court and then that amazing put-back rebound.
That was one of the most heady plays I've seen in this game so far. Pedraza coming off the screen. He has it outside. Now Pedraza working against Bam Bam Hayes to the post. 2 seconds left. Pedraza short pull-up good.
There's the finishing skills.
Yep.
There's the finishing skills of Pedraza that we've been looking for.
Timeout Stampede. The frame on Pedraza, right? You could just imagine what he's going to be able to do in this career. You know, he's going to be able to play inside and outside. He's going to be able to shoot the ball a little bit. You know, the ceiling is very, very high for Al Pedraza, and I think that's why Vice City took him at #1.
Absolutely. Like, everybody can see the skill set there. They can see the ceiling is incredibly high with Pedraza. It's just a matter of putting it all together. And it might be one of those things that comes with time. Might not be here yet, but it is going to come.
For sure. Here's Damian Chambers, the newly acquired Stampede member from Memphis. He's going to cross to his left, working against Zima Blue. 4 seconds left. 3 seconds. Chambers going to have to fire it. Deep three. Back rim, no good. Rebounded by Banks. Quickly ahead to Blue. Not the possession out of the timeout you wanted for San Antonio. Is now Matata up top. 14 seconds left and an offensive three now. So the story right now for Vice City and what's killing them, Pizzo, is the offensive mental mistakes. They've had three illegal screens, now an offensive 3 second. They're hurting themselves there.
Yeah, they're shooting themselves in the foot big time with some of these possessions where they're just giving the ball away.
Yeah, and the turnovers have been the kryptonite here for San Antonio. Both teams making a little bit of mistakes on certain things. We'll see if they can clean it up. Bryson off the screen. Into the lane, goes up and fouled by Al Pedraza, his second foul. So Michael Bryson's going to go to the line for a pair.
Yeah, similar to what we saw from Carr earlier. You see Bryson not showing any fear. He's going after those big guys from Vice City, not afraid to back down and try to finish on them, drawing the fouls and getting to the free throw line, and that is what's continuously keeping them in this game.
And Michael Bryson from Toledo, Ohio, 6'3" point guard. First free throws up and good. An interesting rotation with San Antonio. They run 2 shooting guards to start. You know, Tez Green runs the point guard, and then they run 2 point guards off the bench. So they're going to be able to do a lot of things with these rotations of, you know, mixing in, you know, Lee and Bryson with Tez and Jim Carr.
Yeah, that flexibility is going to be a difference maker for them as they go up against different teams trying to figure out how to match up. It's going to be incredibly difficult to try to game plan for that.
Oh, correctional curator up top.
Curator
Sends Bam Bam tumbling to the ground.
That is a big man that he just put to the ground.
Making his bid for the dunk contest already.
Sign him up.
Wow.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Bryson over to Chambers. Chambers lines up an open three, and he hits it. And I'll tell you what, Pizzo, Memphis could have used that three last game with that guy they just traded away.
Oh, absolutely. They could have used a lot more of that, but San Antonio definitely taking advantage of having that in their lineup now.
Buckley with a layup, good. High scoring affair. This game was projected, you know, almost at a 190 over-under, maybe higher, actually. So I think it was actually higher than that. So, you know, this game's living up to the hype and the expectation.
Yeah, especially as they start heating up here and the game pace starts picking up a little bit, we're going to see some more scoring.
Here's Matata with the ball. Matata looking for Zima Blue. Blue's got an open three from the wing. No good. Rebounded by Curator. Curator back inside and good. And I don't care if he's only 6'7". That man plays about 7'2".
Yeah, he plays like a beast. I'm surprised he didn't slam that home and break the rim.
46-42. 1 minute left. Here's Bryce Lee. San Antonio looking to close this deficit before the half as Lee inside kicks it out to Bryson. Bryson coming off a screen here from Bam Bam Hayes. Bryson down low. Going to go up with the left hand. Curator grabs the rebound. Here goes Vice City. Curator now dribbling it up by himself.
Curator just said, everybody else sit down, I got this.
I love the way he plays. I love his game. 10 seconds left. Matata off the screen of Buckley. Crosses over, pull-up jumper, no good. Rebounded by Buckley, and he throws it down.
Oh, man, the finishing skills. Curator, Buckley, these big men down low. Amazing from Vice City.
For sure. Buckley throws that one down, puts Vice City up by 6. Bryson's going to have it at the end of the quarter. We'll see what San Antonio does here. They like usually to go to these ISO sets. It's going to be Chambers working with Blue. Chambers jabs now to the rim. Chambers layup, no good. Great defense for Azima Blue. And they'll head to halftime. Vice City 48, San Antonio 42. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back for the halftime so Pizzo can break this thing down. This is Gold Standard Basketball on Twitch.
saw Pedraza getting interviewed there. We got a heck of a game going on so far. Vice City, taking the lead into the second half. The back and forth has been amazing. I forget how many lead changes we've seen now. We saw San Antonio take an early lead, start to pull it away a little bit. They started draining a few threes. Vice City called a much-needed timeout and then haven't looked back since. They were able to catch up, take the lead. While San Antonio was able to tie it again at one point, now we see Vice City showing their power down low with Curator, with Buckley, and they are just starting to take over.
Yeah, I mean, the first quarter was, both quarters have just been high pace, high intensity. You can see the percentage of Vice City shooting at 56%, winning pretty much every category right now. The defense has been phenomenal for Vice City, but San Antonio only finds themselves trailing by 6 with those stats. You got to feel decent if you're the Stampede.
Yeah, if you're the Stampede, you're just feeling lucky to still be in this thing as you look at all those blocks and those steals that Vice City currently has. Again, it goes back to what we saw with Vice City shooting themselves in the foot with those illegal screens and then that 3-second violation, just turning the ball over in that way. If it wasn't for those, this could be a double-digit lead that they have right now.
For sure. Well, back here for the third quarter, Vice City up by 6. They're going to start with the ball. Same starting 5, it looks like, as Ivory kicks it over to Zima Blue. Now Blue baseline spin, fade away, good. And the Zambia native hits the jumper there to put Vice City up 8. Percy Cooper to the corner. Tez Green's got it. Green working against Banks. Not sure what San Antonio's wanting to do here. Looks like they want Carr. It said it's going to be Tez ISO here. Tez is going to have to put up the lefty jumper. No good. Rebound tipped and grabbed by Buckley. Great defense by Vice City. Now back to Blue, and Blue throws it down, and Vice City opens the half on a 4-0 run to put themselves in the driver's seat up 10.
Yeah, Zima Blue, he's coming out trying to prove something, man. That man, his game is as smooth as your mama after a bikini wax.
There we go. Tez Green back to Stover, and Stover and one.
Dover coming up strong once again. Like we said earlier, he is a man on a mission. He will not be denied down low.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Stover gonna head to the line.
Shooting for your home team, number 34.
52-44. The game plan for San Antonio has been go to Jim Carr and let Stover kind of clean it up.
Yeah, we haven't heard a lot from Jim Carr after he was draining those threes earlier. He did a little bit more driving, got a few free throws, but we'll see if he heats up again here in the second half as Stover finishes there.
Yeah, they're going to need him for sure. Tez has got to get going a little bit too, move the rock maybe a little more as they're trying to figure out the offense. Jim Carr obviously somebody that they feel like can carry them in the early season while figuring that out. Banks now over to Ivory. 5 on the shot clock. Ivory's got a little bit of space, going to shoot from the top of the key and drills it.
Good look there. They had, again, once again, that good ball movement there, getting it to Ivory. He was able to work some space there and find the opening to get that shot off.
Yeah, here's Carr. Now Carr over to Green. Green swings it to Percy Cooper, down to Stover. They wanted him in the post. Now they got Stover. Layup up, no good this time.
Same thing we saw earlier in the game. They want to work it down low to Stover when he's in there. Just couldn't come up with it that time.
Banks driving. Banks gets blocked by Willie Davis. You see if San Antonio can run here. They want to with Percy Cooper. Cooper crosses over. Now Zima Blue stops him from the transition layup. Percy working against 3. Percy down low. Underneath, can't make it. Great defense by Pedraza.
Yeah, we're starting to see Pedraza show up more and more here.
Yeah, and one thing I'm noticing in Vice City is they're not fouling too much. Well, Buckley's got a big
Buckley,
mismatch
I
down
was going
low.
to take it at him.
Tez got caught behind the 7'1" Billy Bob Buckley and had no shot.
Yeah, I
Almost
feel
a
bad
foot
for
advantage.
Tez there. Yeah, you just try to survive at that point.
That guy's like 2 Tezes. Tez driving now and up and under finishes. Tough finish from Tez Green. He's a good finisher at 6'2".
Yeah, again, like he's got that speed and knows how to finish, and they'll take advantage of that.
Yeah, one thing I actually love and respect from Vice City so far is how well they play defense without fouling underneath.
Yeah, those bigs are really talented. They know what they're doing, and that's what led to all that defense that we saw in the at the end of the first half. Those bigs coming up strong.
For sure. Blue, mid-range jumper, good again. Zima Blue's been really good in the mid-range tonight.
Zima's definitely taken over here in the second half. He's the man that they're turning to.
Timeout on the floor. Antonio going to call that one to talk it over. 58-47, Vice City leads.
Yeah, for San Antonio with this timeout here, this is the time to get serious. They need to step up to the plate and lay their cards on the table, and they need to hang into this one.
Yeah, they got to weather this little run by Vice City. They're at home. The crowd's going to be behind them, but they need some stops on defense right now. Vice City, I believe, shooting at almost 60%.
Yeah, and what we've seen so far here, just briefly into the third, is that Vice City, we're not seeing the same mistakes that we saw in the first half. They're playing a much more clean game when they have the ball, and they're starting to finish strong.
Cooper going to get called for the offensive three. I thought it was going to be coming there. He was in there quite a while.
Yep.
The block there by Davis. Davis just does a great job staying vertical.
Yeah, that was a great play by Davis. As you said, staying vertical, just kept his arms up in the air, jumped straight up, and got a nice clean block.
So be Justin Banks bringing it up here for Vice City. Goes behind his back, working against Tez Green. Banks drives in. Banks gets almost blocked there, but Buckley follows with the rebound.
Buckley, again, cleaning the windows there. Like we've seen at least a couple of times here this half where he's just there cleaning up the boards and finishing, making sure that they come away with some points.
Cooper three-pointer rattles out, no good. San Antonio was hot early, have cooled down since. They're still getting good looks, but Ivory going to drive off the glass. Can't hit Davis with the rebound. And I said it earlier, Pizzo, I think a lot of people are going to go plus on the close shot here in this next progression as we're seeing. I always say, as Tez Green scores there, you got to be really good at the things that happen often in games, right? And that's one of the things that happens a lot.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of shots missed close to the basket here. What's interesting is that we talked earlier about San Antonio and their transition game, as Willie Davis called for the reach in there. We're starting to see Vice City run a little bit more than we saw in the first half. So if they can keep that up as they get these defensive stops, like they're going to continue to pull away here.
Yeah, Zima Blue
my
the ball right
goodness.
now. Zima is heating up here for Vice City.
Oh my goodness. Where is the defense?
Yeah,
they need to stop that man.
Yeah, the upside for Zima is there. We knew it coming into the draft. He's showing it right now. Carr gets an open look for three. Can't hit him. Bam Bam Hayes going to throw Pedraza off trying to get the rebound, and the ball's going to go back to Vice City here.
Yeah, Pedraza's come up with a couple of big rebounds here to help get Vice City into transition. Bam Bam doing what he can to try to fight his way for those boards, but fought a little too much there.
Sure, Justin Banks has the ball over to Robert Ivory. Ivory down to Bam Bam. This time a bigger defender on him, more his match. The fadeaway, Buckley hits the fadeaway. The big man's got some touch.
Buckley just showing off his skills all over the court right now. But yeah, he definitely wasn't going to back his way in there that time.
Well, Vice City scorching in this game, hovering around the 60% mark as Percy Cooper gets fouled by Pedraza.
Beautiful look down low. Percy Cooper was able to just get a little bit of space, all he needed to get that ball fed into him. Drew the foul, and now Stampede have a chance to get a couple of shots off here and just try to cut into this lead. And with suddenly, Vice City all of a sudden is up by 15.
Vice City has 41 points off assists tonight.
Amazing.
That is a big stat number. They have definitely shared the ball well as Percy Cooper hits the first free throw. And Pizza, one thing I absolutely hate about basketball, and basketball is my life, but I hate that sometimes it's just not your night. Sometimes from night to night you could be completely different. A team could get really hot and shoot really well, and the next night just doesn't happen. So we're going to see that as well here in GSB.
Yeah, it's one of those things where as a coach and a leader of a team, like you look for the consistency. That's what you want to get out of your team. And on those off nights, you have to figure out what is the difference, like what has changed. And then you have to maneuver around that and figure out, okay, do I need to adjust my game plan or my strategy in some way, or talk to my players and have them train up in a different way. And so finding that consistency will be key for every team here as we get started.
Yeah, and shooting in basketball is the most volatile skill. It's going to change from game to game. But there's certain skills in basketball that you can be really good at all the time, such as defense, passing, things like that, right? If you're really consistent in certain areas and have a great identity about your team, then even in the tough off nights, you're going to have a chance to win the game.
Yeah, those fundamentals are key as we, big block there. Those fundamentals are key as we talk about things like turnovers. Like if you've got the ball handling skills, the other team can't get in there to steal it as frequently. Like that's the type of stuff that you're looking for. You don't want to do the little things that'll hurt you. You want to make sure that you get it all right.
For sure. They're the best shooters in the NBA, missed 6 out of 10 threes. So, shooting is a tough one for sure. But it does change as Deathridge hits the layup. But things like passing the ball, like Vice City has done well tonight, right? Things like interior defense without fouling, those things are going to set you apart.
Absolutely, and those are the things that are rarely discussed also. So you don't really focus on or see highlights about the great passes. It's always the shots and the dunks, but it is those little things that'll make the difference.
Vice City gets to the line, going to get fouled.
Number 2.
Bio Good.
His first personal foul. Third team foul.
Still so good and still one of my favorite names here in the GSB.
Lee taking 2 shots.
So Bryce Lee at the line for 2 free throws here for San Antonio. First free throw is good for Lee. Lee, the 6'2" point guard from Freehold, New Jersey. Trying to bring San Antonio back in it.
Yeah, I'm surprised Vice City doesn't have more free throws. I really thought that they had been to the foul line a little bit more frequently than what we just saw there in the graphic.
For sure. It has been a lower free throw game, to be honest with you. So both teams actually doing a pretty good job on the interior. Zima Blue over to Still So Good. 3 minutes left. Blue's got it in the corner working against Michael Bryston. Looks like they are looking for a pick and roll. Zima Blue comes off of it. Little floater up and good again. Zima's got to have like 15, 16. We're going to see 15 points tonight for
15.
Zima.
Yeah, most of those here are in the third quarter where he, coming out of halftime, he was going to be the difference maker, and he is certainly making his name well known right now.
Bryston tries to force it, and look who it is. Zima Blue with the block.
Zima Blue.
Blue taking over right now for Vice City.
Yep, he's putting the league on notice about himself right now.
Still so good. 3-pointer, top of the key, no good. Buckley again. The rebounding ability of Buckley and the athleticism at 7'1" has been really impressive.
Yeah, those second chance opportunities are really helping Vice City pull away here. San Antonio needs to find a way to get tougher on those defensive boards.
Here is Chambers now over to Lee. Lee driving right against O'Good. Lee's layup is up and good. Good finish from Bryce Lee there for San Antonio. They still trail by 15 as Vice City going to call a timeout to get some subs in. But Pizzo, what does San Antonio got to do here? I mean, obviously they got to get some stops, but the problem hasn't been their offense tonight. It's been on the defensive end, I think.
Yeah, on the defensive end, Vice City has just, we saw it towards the end of the first half. Vice City just started rolling, and San Antonio has not been able to stop them ever since. And Vice City, to their credit, they aren't missing that much either. They're doing whatever they want, and it's those extra passes that you talked about earlier. They're finding their shooters on the outside. They're working it inside, and San Antonio really hasn't had an answer.
Yeah, here's Banks. Banks working to his left. It looks like they want Good off the screen on the right side. They're going to find him. Now Good swings to Ivory. Another extra pass for Vice City, and
There
another
it is.
jumper.
3 points.
There it is, and that's what we keep talking about, that extra pass, passing up the good one, good shot for the great shot.
Biggest key in basketball right there is Bryce Lee over to Chambers. Chambers now looking for Bryston. Finds him. Bryston jumper up and no good. Rebounded, tipped, and fought for. But going to come up by Banks. And here goes Vice City in transition. Ahead to Curator. And Curator throws
There
it
he
down.
goes.
What a build this Vice City team has.
There you go. They can do it all, it's looking like right now. Like whether you guard the perimeter, they'll work you on the inside. You stop the inside, they're on the outside shooting it on you. Vice City just going back and forth on them.
A very pacey team here. Bryce Lee coming off the screen, drives inside, draws 2, instead backs it back out with 5 on the shot clock. Now Lee going to try to attack again, goes up against Ivory, can't finish. Bam Bam with the rebound and the putback. Nice hustle from Bam Bam Hayes there.
Yeah, again, if San Antonio wants to come back, Bam Bam's going to be one of those guys that they need to step up as well down low, as Deathridge just works his stuff down there and gets an open look and an open layup.
Vice City on pace to hit over the 100 mark in this one.
Yeah, that close game we saw early on, I really thought that this would come down to the wire, but Vice City has just put their foot on the gas, and they are not slowing down.
Yeah, and San Antonio's really cooled off from 3, to be honest. They were really hot early. Have cooled off since. Vice City has not cooled off at all. As it looks like Ivory's going to go ISO here to end the quarter. Drives in, fouled by Bryce Lee, so Robert Ivory going to go to the line for a couple free throws to end the quarter here for Vice City.
Second team foul.
Yeah, Vice City already up by 20 here, closing out the third, and they can, go up by a couple more here and just even put their hands even a little bit stronger around the throats of San Antonio.
And as people start to watch these games and learn how to build their guys, they're going to start to learn what matters for their players. And there's a reason that badges cost so much in our league, is because of how important they are.
Yeah, those are absolutely a difference maker. And I believe that you're right. We are going to see people maybe lean in a little bit more on some of those badges as they've seen a full week full of games now.
Ivory hits 1 of 2, 78-57. 5 seconds left. Bryson over to Chambers. Chambers jumper, no good, and we'll head to the fourth quarter. 4's up in the chat. Vice City 78, San Antonio 57. The Kings are hot here. And San Antonio will be right back for the fourth quarter. This is Gold Standard Basketball on Twitch. The State Farm assist of the game here is down to Matata for the and 1 layup.
I give that one a B. I think
Yeah,
State
well,
Farm did okay with that one. Yeah, not too bad.
Wednesdays must be their off days. They didn't get one last game, and that one was okay. Yesterday they had a really good one. So here we go. Start the fourth quarter. Vice City up by 21 points. Shooting the ball still near probably 60% in this one. As Chambers has the ball. Looks like he wants. Not really sure what he wants. He's going to step back and shoot the 3. Can't hit. Rebounded by Deathridge.
Not a lot of movement there from San Antonio. A lot of standing around. Nobody helping him out, so he had to just step back and take that one himself.
For sure. Here's the curator now. Backdoor to Matata. Matata layup good.
Beautiful, beautiful play by Matata to work his way around and find the opening down low.
Vice City pushes this lead to 23. Been all Kings here in the second half, as it was a 6-point game at halftime. Bam Bam drives in. Athletic looking layup. Can't hit. Rebounded by Matata. Matata out to Oh Good. Pull up jumper. Finally a miss. I feel like they haven't missed all night. Chambers down low. He also misses the layup. Nothing going San Antonio's way here in the fourth either.
No, they're trying to work that transition game. Both teams taking it up the court pretty fast here, but nobody's finishing.
Been really fast in transition for both teams. Have taken really quick shots on both ends.
That is like about 4 shots in a row that we've seen quick go up the court and then miss.
Yeah, if you're going to play that way, you got to be able to convert. Here's Matata, 10 on the shot clock. Now over to Deathridge. Deathridge down to Matata. Matata pump fake, steps through, blocked by Stover, and a shot clock violation. So we'll see if that can get San Antonio going a little bit here.
Man, Stover coming up big, man. He's like King Kong, just swatting everything out of the air down there.
Yeah, he's been one of the few bright spots for San Antonio tonight. Him and Jim Carr probably. Here's Bam Bam over to Chambers. Chambers three-pointer from the wing, no good. Rebounded by Good. And San Antonio. Oh, Curator with another flush in transition.
Beautiful finish there by Vice City. Definitely, we see them pushing that ball up the court off of the deep rebound. Curator using that speed and just slamming it home like he's been doing all game.
For sure. Byston off the screen. Byston steps back, three-pointer, no good. Rebounded down by Deathridge.
I think there's a lid on top of the basket down there for San Antonio. Have they even hit anything this quarter yet?
I don't think so. I mean, fatigue starts to set in with a lot of these things, and Bryce Lee three-pointer, no good. You know, when fatigue starts to hit in, you know, a lot of things matter with your build. Like if your stamina's not all the way up, it's going to fight if your badges, if you don't have things like tireless shooter or you know, dead eye stuff, like those matter a lot too. So a lot of things going into progression tomorrow. I'm excited to see what everybody does with their progression, and to see how they kind of, you know, respond to how their player did in week one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the transition from week 1 to week 2, just in terms of how players are playing as well as how coaches are game planning as well. This is about the third game that we've seen now as Vice City hits again. This is about the third game that we've seen now that is basically turning into a blowout. And so what will these coaches do coming into week 2 to make the adjustments that they need to succeed?
For sure. Lee down low gets fouled by Deathridge, so Bryce Lee will go to the line for 2.
Number 55.
And maybe this is where San Antonio can end their drought.
And I've said this to a lot of coaches after there's games this week, and a lot of GMs, it's a long season, Peter. 14-game season plus the playoffs. A lot of time to learn about your team and a lot of time to, you know, make the adjustments necessary to play your best basketball, you know, in July for us in the late season.
Yeah, it's a great point. Those of us part of teams that did not play so well here in week 1, it's no reason to freak out. Like, we've got a lot more games ahead of us. We do have time to kind of pull it together, work on our game plans, work on our playbooks as well. Just having the ability to develop our own playbooks will be a difference maker, especially as we're learning more things. And what we see during this first week will probably be completely different than what we see, you know, weeks 10, 11, 12, and into the end of the season.
Yeah, for sure. 84-59, Alvaro Pedraza. Stole there by San Antonio. It's Jim Carr with the ball. And this is it's a marathon, right? It's a grind. You gotta take the losses on the head and respond to them. It's Jim Carr fadeaway three, no good, and rebounded by Pedraza, and just get better the next week. Flush it quickly.
Yes, and there's Curator again.
The transition for Vice City has been insane.
It's been incredible, especially in this fourth when San Antonio can't hit a shot.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this entire week, Vice City's looked the best in transition out of any team so far.
Yeah, we were talking about San Antonio earlier on when the game was a little bit tighter, but Vice City has been showing them up here ever since.
And I actually think these two teams are very, very similar in the sense of their play style. I think they're built completely different, but I think their play style is very similar.
Extremely. Like we've definitely seen some similarities. I think San Antonio definitely using their shooters from outside a little bit more. But we definitely do see some parallels between the two.
Good foul there by Davis. Matata had an easy layup.
Yeah, had to slow him down somehow.
Buckley and Zima Blue checking back in. Kira going to take a seat.
Yeah, at this point, it's just getting players time. You know, maybe we start to see Vice City running out the clock a little bit. You know, it's one of those moments where you look at it, you know, San Antonio being down by 25. You basically think it's time for that fat lady to start warming up the bus.
For sure. Here's Zima Blue. Blue pull-up jumper, no good. Rebounded by Lloyd. And I can almost bet that we're going to see a different performance from San Antonio next week. These coaches are hungry. These GM players are hungry. Like they're gonna respond to this in a big way as Jim Carr hits the jumper.
Yeah, too little, too late for San Antonio there probably, but it's good to see them still battling, taking the shots. They will start falling at some point. That's what shooters got to do. Keep shooting and they'll start falling.
Zima, a little runner, good again. The mid-range
But at
has been
some
open.
point,
Yeah, they
at
gotta
some
play.
point, you gotta play defense. You know, this defense is as challenging as a single-color Rubik's cube. Like this has been pretty bad here that we've seen it here in the second half.
Yeah, and I think what's happening too in that pick and roll coverage is San Antonio's playing that drop coverage. Is Jim Carr can't hit the three there, playing that drop coverage, and Vice City's just living in the mid range and they're hitting well. It's kind of the battle you play as Zima just lights it up again, another three.
Jeez, Zima has just slaughtered them here in the second half. They don't have an answer for him at all.
I think he's got 20 in the game right now. As Davis drives in, Davis up with the left hand, can't finish, rebounded by Buckley. Like you said, San Antonio's probably got 20 points the entire second half.
Yeah, this fourth quarter especially, San Antonio just they haven't hit very much.
So back to the drawing board. First week as head coach for Justin Hall as San Antonio. We mentioned as James hits the three there. We mentioned how much change San Antonio has gone through. They're definitely going to figure it out. They got a brand new, whole new staff pretty much, and a new coach that's been pretty much running since for 1 week. So expect San Antonio to respond and Coach Justin Hall to put together a really, really good game plan for next week.
Yeah, Coach Hall, he had an uphill battle. Like every other team, every other coach, they've had a while to test some things, get familiar with their players, start building their game plans. Him coming in, a week, maybe even less, before the season starts, it's definitely an uphill battle. But as we said earlier, it's a long season. He'll have time to make things right, learn some lessons, and then we'll definitely see a different San Antonio team for the rest of the season.
For sure. Here's Davis with the steal ahead to Tez Green. Green has 2 on him. Now backs back up. Now Green works to his left.
Oh, that speed.
Yeah, the crossover and the speed. I want to see more of Tez Green in the pick and roll. I think he's really crafty in the pick and roll, but not a natural point guard, right? He's a shooting guard. He's more of a scorer. So I think that's one thing that, San Antonio might be lacking a little bit is a true point guard that, can swing the ball. Bryson might be that guy. But another thing to look at is tens with a lot of these guys. If you have too many guys that, look to score the basketball rather than passing, then you might struggle. You see Vice City, it looks like they have a lot of guys that have a pretty good dish tendency by the way that they're moving the ball.
Yeah, they're definitely mixing things up quite a bit there. And with Tez Green, like that speed, San Antonio has to figure out a way to utilize it one way or another. If it's ISO, if it's set it in the screens for him so that he can get around them and find just a little bit of open space so he can take off. I think that will be a difference. But you're absolutely right. Playing him at the 1, playing him at the 2, they really need to figure out where to settle him so that they could develop the game plan around him.
Yeah, and it's about looking at the entire picture, right? If you have too many guys that settle for threes, obviously you're going to be lacking somewhere. If you have too many guys that are scorers, you're going to be lacking somewhere. If you have not enough guys that are looking to score, right? So you got to look at the entirety of the picture. As another 3 there by King James.
Yeah, they are just being relentless right now, closing in on that century mark, and it looks like they might actually get there.
Yeah, but all in all, a great first week in Gold Standard basketball. We had an overtime game out in with Oakland, so but all in all, phenomenal first week. The support has been amazing. I can't wait to see, week 2 and what happens. I'll get the schedule out. It's on the site already, but I'll make sure I post it on Discord tonight.
Yeah, we still got 47 people hanging out with us. We definitely do appreciate that. But yeah, it has been an amazing week. Finally getting this thing launched and off the ground. Just seeing everything come together, getting some actual real season gameplay. Even getting the sports book up and running. I know people have been having a lot of fun with that. We're finally able to get some graphics and see some new things. And so this is now, the momentum is building, and so we're about to take off here. I'm really excited about what we got ahead of us here with the GSP.
For sure, and Saturday we'll have our second prospect game. This Tez Green layup, no good. We'll have our second prospect game on Saturday, so another chance to get a look at those minors players before we actually tip off minors officially, and a couple new additions to the prospect game we'll see as well. So make sure you guys tune in for that on Saturday. Time to be announced shortly here as Buckley down low, left-hand jump hook. No good. That was a chance to get him to 100.
Yeah, and with that game on Saturday, just another opportunity for people to get those viewership credits as Carr finishes strong there.
And a chance to get to look at people too already for next season. It's never too early to start looking at prospects for the second season draft.
Oh no, and I know there were teams out scouting during the last game. People already starting to take their notes and starting to game plan for what's going to happen in future seasons.
For sure. So that'll do it here. 98-71 final. Vice City wins this one on the road. Nice battle won by the Kings. I believe Jim Carr and Zima Blue both went for 20 plus in this one. We'll get a look at the team comparison. It is a grind. This league is a grind. So it'll be a lot of fun later in the season, in a couple of seasons when guys are looking really good. Let's check out the team comparison real quick. So it looks like, oh my gosh, Vice City shot at 60%, Pizzo. 62% from three. Just shot lights out tonight. And, San Antonio, like I said, the issue was not on offense. Sometimes you can't combat that. Like, Vice City was that hot all night. It was probably going to be a long road for San Antonio tonight anyway. But, it didn't help that, Vice City got some open looks.
Yeah, you can see here just all the yellow on the left there. Vice City just overwhelmed San Antonio. There was nothing San Antonio could do to stop it. We mentioned it during the game that defense was just lacking. They could not keep up, and Vice City was able to mix it up and do basically whatever they wanted. As you called that, 62% from three, and just 60% overall. San Antonio wins the battle on the free throw line. Okay, but that was nearly enough to what they needed to hang in there. And you just look at those rebounds, the defensive rebounds compared to the two, 36-21, as well as the turnover battle. 6 steals and 5 blocks for Vice City versus 3 and 3 for San Antonio. You can't keep up when it comes down to stats like that.
Yeah, and it was pretty early too, I think, that I actually want to look up by quarter here because it was close early on. Vice City was still shooting lights out early on. I'm not really sure how San Antonio was still in the game. They had 6 more shots, but Vice City had 6 turnovers in the first quarter, only 10 for the game. So props to them for kind of, settling down. And but it was early on, right? 6 and 3 in the first half for steals and blocks for Vice City. And you look at the game, 6 and 5. So San Antonio calmed down on the turnovers in the second half a little bit, but the shooting from Vice City was just too much.
Yeah, and even in the first half, we saw going into halftime, Vice City up by 6.
Yeah.
And we said that Vice City had even shot themselves in the foot a few times with those illegal screens and a 3-second violation. That was 4 possessions alone where they had the opportunity to be ahead well into the double digits. And they cleaned that up in the second half, and you could just see how they just laid it on afterwards.
For sure. And if you look at the third quarter too, 30-15, you go with a 30-point quarter in GSB. It's going to be a long night for sure.
Yeah. Yes, certainly.
So let's take a look at the box scores. Jim Carr led the Stampede with 21 points, very top heavy for San Antonio. With Carr's 21, getting a big volume, 16 shots, 3 of 8 from 3. Percy Cooper 9 points, 3 assists. Stover with 9 points, 6 rebounds. Tez Green, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals for Tez, running the point guard. Bryce Lee, 7 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Bam Bam Hayes, 6 points, 5 rebounds. 6 points and an assist for Bryston. 3, 1 and 1 for Chambers. Rough night shooting for Damian Chambers off that trade from Memphis. Only 1 for 5 from 3, 1 of 12 overall. He will surely have better days. As Lloyd goes 2 and 9, and Willie Davis 0-3 and a steal and a block on his stat line. As we check out Vice City stat line, Pizzo Zima Blue had 19, 4, 5, and 2 in the game. Easily the player of the game for Vice City, as they didn't have an answer like you said.
Yeah, that second half, Zima Blue just came out and took over, and with that, filling up the stat sheet there and going 9 for 12. Like, he was absolutely the difference maker for them in the second half.
For sure. We'll continue the stat line. I got to pay out these predictions real quick.
Okay. Yeah, we got Curator also joining in there, coming up big with 15 points, 3 boards, and a couple of assists, going 7 for 8 for him. A couple of big dunks mixed in as well. Matata, 14 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, and a couple of steals mixed in. 3 turnovers, which you don't see often from Matata. I'm sure that they'll work to clean that up. Buckley, double there with the 14 points and the 11 boards, a lot of them on the offensive side, where he was cleaning up the glass. King James coming through with 14 points and a couple of assists. Mr. Robert Ivory with 8 points and assists, 3 for 6 shooting, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, made his only 3-pointer. Justin Banks, 5 points, couple of boards, 6 assists, only 2 for 8 shooting. I know that they're going to look to Justin Banks to shoot a little bit better moving forward there. Tyler Deathridge coming up with 5 points, 8 boards of his own. Didn't shoot very much, but converted when he did. 2 points and 7 boards for Pedraza. And there we go. We talked about the #1 draft pick overall. Doing his part, mixing in the 7 boards with the 6 assists and a steal. So doing the little things, and that's what we talked about earlier. They didn't necessarily need him scoring all the points, but he did some other things to help them move the ball up the court. And then you got Still So Good with 2 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, and a steal of his own.
Yeah.
And that wraps it up for Vice City.
Pizzo, and something interesting to talk about too is it's a luxury. You look at these double digits, 19, 15, 14, 14, 14. Like the ball movement was great. But it's a luxury to have guys that could score the ball like Zima Blue and Matata. And James, to give guys like Pedraza room to grow, right? Because you could see what he could do. He's a walking triple-double in the future here. 7 rebounds, 6 assists for him. When he figures out his offensive game and his offensive touch, he's going to be really, really dangerous.
Yeah, I see a lot of double-doubles in Pedraza's future, certainly. Real quick, can you go back to the team comparison there? I want to see the assist total again.
Yeah, 28 assists.
Yeah, 28 assists. Just incredible from Vice City as they were passing the ball around and finding those open players. And they found the guys who were ready to score tonight.
And I'm actually curious before we sign off, as now we have team stats on the website, so I want to take a look real quick at what the high so far is for assists for a team. And it's 21 assists Vegas and New York. So the most assists in week 1 with 28 and blew everybody out, right? Like 7 more assists than any other team. Vice City really did a great job there.
Yeah, that front office is an impressive group. They know what they're doing there. Definitely found a game plan that worked for them and found ways to share the ball across the team and get everybody into the mix.
For sure. Well, that's going to do it here for Vice City and San Antonio and for week 1 of Gold Standard Basketball. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out all week for us. Saturday, we got a prospect game. Progression opens tomorrow. Do not forget your progression. You could see how important it is. And something else to note, Pizzo, is a lot of people bank those points, right? And you could see maybe from week to week that might not be the best strategy in terms of how it affects your team that week.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing people playing that long-term game that we were talking about. And so once those points hit and once they bank up to the max limit and they cash in, we're going to see some differences in how some of these players play. And I'm looking forward to how that's going to work out here as we get into week 5 and week 6 of the season.
For sure. Well, we'll head off and we'll let you guys get back to your night. But that'll do it for Gold Standard Basketball week 1. For Pizzo, I'm Nighthawk. We'll see you guys next time.